The building loomed, a monolith of shadows against the dying light. Its silhouette was a stark reminder of a time long past, a time when this place was alive with the hustle and bustle of law enforcement. Now, it stood as a ghostly sentinel, guarding secrets buried deep within its crumbling walls, a steel skeleton picked bare by time. The beams, once strong and unyielding, now lay exposed and rusted, a testament to the relentless march of decay. The walls, once echoing with the sounds of duty and justice, now whispered tales of neglect and abandonment. This was no ordinary ruin. This was the remnants of the Fourth Precinct, swallowed by silence years ago. Once a beacon of order and safety, it had become a relic of forgotten battles and unresolved mysteries. The precinct's fall from grace was as enigmatic as the shadows that now cloaked it. I shouldn't have been here. The very air seemed to hum with a warning, a silent plea to turn back. Yet, something compelled me to press on, to uncover the stories that lay hidden in the darkness. The rusted chain-link fence, a frail barrier against the secrets within, beckoned me closer. It was as if the precinct itself was inviting me to step beyond the threshold, to discover what lay beyond the veil of time and neglect. One question echoed in the silence. Why was I drawn here? Was it mere curiosity or something deeper, a connection to the past that I couldn't quite grasp? The precinct seemed to hold a piece of my own history, a fragment of a puzzle I was desperate to solve. The air grew colder as I crossed the threshold, stepping over shattered glass and forgotten memories. Each fragment of glass, each piece of debris, seemed to tell a story of its own, a story of a place that had once been vibrant and full of life. A low groan echoed from the depths of the building. The building itself seemed to breathe, or perhaps it was just the wind whistling through broken windows. The sound was both eerie and comforting, a reminder that this place, though abandoned, was still very much alive in its own way. Each step deeper into the gloom felt like stepping further back in time, into a darkness I wasn't sure I wanted to confront. The shadows seemed to close in around me, whispering secrets of the past, urging me to uncover the truth that lay hidden within the precinct's walls. The journey was as much about discovering the precinct's history as it was about understanding my own connection to this place. Dust swirled in the pale beams of my flashlight, creating an almost ethereal dance in the stagnant air. Each particle seemed to carry a story, a fragment of the past that lingered in this forsaken place. Dancing on the stagnant air, the dust seemed to whisper secrets of days long gone, of moments frozen in time. Papers, once filled with reports of petty theft and neighborhood squabbles, now lay scattered and yellowed, whispering of forgotten lives. These documents, now brittle and fragile, were the remnants of a once bustling hub of activity, now reduced to mere echoes of its former self. The air hung heavy, thick with the musty scent of decay and the metallic tang of fear. It was as if the very walls had absorbed the emotions of those who had once walked these halls, now exuding a sense of dread and foreboding. I could almost hear the echoes of frantic footsteps, urgent whispers, and the sharp ring of the phone, now silent. The cacophony of a once active police station now reduced to a haunting silence, each sound a ghostly reminder of the past. A sudden movement in the shadows made me jump, my heart pounding against my ribs like a frantic bird. The darkness seemed to play tricks on my mind, every flicker of light a potential threat. It was just a rat, its beady eyes reflecting the cold light of my flashlight. Yet, in this eerie setting, even the smallest creature took on a menacing presence. But the encounter sent shivers down my spine. The rat, a symbol of decay and abandonment, seemed to embody the very essence of this forsaken place. This place held a strange energy, a palpable tension that seemed to hum beneath the silence. It was as if the building itself was alive, watching, waiting, and remembering. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, that I was intruding on something I shouldn't see. The sensation was almost tangible, a prickling at the back of my neck, urging me to leave, yet compelling me to stay and uncover the mysteries hidden within these walls. Deeper I ventured, each room a tableau of forgotten lives frozen in time. The stale air hung heavy, a suffocating blanket of the past. In the flickering beam of my flashlight, shadows danced on the walls, twisting familiar shapes into grotesque figures. My pulse quickened. There was something else here, a presence that sent a chill down my spine. Then I saw it, a face staring back at me from the darkness. A face half hidden in shadow, yet so familiar, like a ghost from a forgotten dream. My breath caught in my throat. It couldn't be. The old evidence board, covered in faded photographs and handwritten notes, held a chilling secret. My blood ran cold. It was a missing persons board, a collage of faces, each a story unfinished, a life interrupted. The faces blurred into a sea of fear and despair. My hand trembled as I reached out, my fingers brushing against the cold glass of a frame. The face that had drawn my attention remained shrouded in shadow, the details obscured by time and neglect, but there was something about the eyes, a haunting familiarity that sent a shiver down my spine. They seemed to bore into me, pleading for answers I didn't have. A wave of dizziness washed over me as I stared at the picture, the edges of my vision blurring. The air seemed to crackle with a strange energy. Taking a shaky breath, I stepped closer, my heart pounding in my chest. The air was thick with dust and the scent of decay, making it hard to breathe. Each step echoed in the empty hallways, amplifying the eerie silence that enveloped the place. The silence in the room was deafening, broken only by the sound of my own breathing. Reaching out, I slowly brushed away the layer of dust that veiled the face. The photograph felt cold and brittle under my fingers, as if it had been frozen in time. The name on the poster jumped out at me, a name I knew better than my own. It was me. My heart skipped a beat as I stared at the familiar letters, unable to comprehend what I was seeing. The photograph showed a younger version of myself. The same nervous smile, the same apprehensive eyes that stared back at me from the bathroom mirror each morning. But this wasn't possible. How could this be here, in this abandoned place? How could my own face be staring back at me from a missing persons poster in an abandoned police station? My mind reeled, struggling to grasp the impossible. Memories flooded back, fragments of a past I thought I had left behind. The poster was dated years ago, yet here I was, unchanged. It was as if time had stood still, preserving this moment for me to find. The realization hit me like a tidal wave, leaving me breathless and disoriented. What had happened to me? Why was I here? The questions swirled in my mind, each one more perplexing than the last. I knew I had to find answers, but where to start? The abandoned police station held secrets, and I was determined to uncover them, no matter the cost. Panic welled up inside me, choking me with its icy fingers. Memories, hazy and fragmented, flickered at the edges of my consciousness. A dark road, blinding headlights, a piercing scream cut short. Then, nothing. A blank canvas where my past should have been. I stumbled back, my hand flying to my mouth to stifle a scream. The ground seemed to shift beneath my feet, the walls closing in, threatening to crush me. This abandoned police station, this forgotten corner of the city, held the key to my past. A past I couldn't remember, a past that refused to be ignored. Hours later, I found myself back in my apartment, the harsh glare of the overhead light doing little to dispel the shadows that clung to me. The missing person poster lay on my coffee table, a tangible reminder of the mystery I now carried within me. The face staring back at me was both familiar and strange, a haunting echo of a life I couldn't remember. Exhaustion tugged at my eyelids, but sleep offered no escape. Every time I closed my eyes, I was back in that dusty room, the weight of the unknown pressing down on me. The discovery had unearthed something deep within me, a primal fear, mixed with a desperate need for answers. Days turned into weeks, the missing poster a constant presence in my apartment. I scoured old newspapers, interviewed retired officers, chased down every lead, every whisper of the past. But the answers remained elusive, hidden in the labyrinth of my forgotten memories. The more I learned, the more questions arose, each one a thread in a tapestry of conspiracy and deceit. The police had no record of my case, no file, no report. It was as if I had vanished from existence, only to reappear years later, haunted by fragments of a life I couldn't recall. The search for my past became an obsession, consuming my every waking moment. Why had I been taken? Who was I running from, or towards? The questions echoed in the empty spaces of my mind, a constant torment. The abandoned police station had become a tangible symbol of my forgotten past, a place where the line between reality and nightmare blurred. I returned there often, drawn by an unseen force, a need to understand, to remember everything. Standing in the silence, I could almost hear the echoes of the past, whispers of forgotten conversations, the phantom touch of a hand on my shoulder. But the answers remained elusive, locked away in the deepest recesses of my mind. The missing person poster, now faded and worn from countless hours of scrutiny, still hung on my wall, a constant reminder of the mystery that defined me. The eyes in the picture seemed to follow me, a silent plea for justice, for closure. And in the depths of my own reflection, I saw a flicker of something unknown, a glimmer of recognition in the eyes that stared back at me. The past may be a mystery, but it was a mystery I was determined to solve. The truth I knew lay hidden somewhere within the shadows of my own forgotten memories, waiting to be unearthed.